All right, guys, we back. I have a special guest with me, a returning guest, been here. This is second time. Terrence Atkins. You should be familiar with him from the from American Descendants of Slaves.
Slavery.
Of slavery. Yeah. So let's get to it, man. Straight to the thumbnail. Ambushed in Alabama. From your point of view, what's happening politically in Decatur with this situation?
So politically, Decatur is a unique place, right? Because it's extremely small. It's a small city. So it's a city that really couldn't handle like this type of exposure. So politically, they're scrambling, right? Everybody around here is scrambling. The mayor, he don't know what to do. He's fumbling and bumbling. The city council, some of them there, some of them ain't, so it's just been really weird, watching everybody like do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, it definitely. I confirm the size as well is 57,000. That was 2021. So I was suspecting between the same and about 65,000. That's very small.
Yeah, it's very small. This ain't these larger cities where this stuff happens. This ain't like right outside of St. Louis with Ferguson. You know what I'm saying? This ain't Minneapolis. This ain't Austin, Texas. Pretty much every large city in America. Like, this ain't here. This is a smaller town. Everybody knows everybody. So the incompetence of it all, right? Because we can't stand this exposure. Like, once this goes national, once this gets out there further, like, we wouldn't even be able to sustain like the people that would show up. Like, the infrastructure here isn't even there. I mean, it's a nice city, but it's so small. Everybody know everybody.
Yeah, definitely. So we can bring more clarity to the audience. We just finished uploading the I Am Steve Perkins video. But can you familiarize the audience from your point of view with the situation?
Yeah, definitely. Steve Perkins was at home from the videos that we've all seen and heard. He was at home, heard a disturbance outside, and he comes outside. What's in his hand is what's in question, but the fact that, he's a gun owner and this is America, like, this is a 2A issue, right? Like, where are the Second Amendment people? Like, where are the rights to bear arms people in this instance? Like, why are you not standing up? Because there have been multiple instances where black men, black women have had lawful guns, and the 2A community does not stand up, which that's the Second Amendment, which is the right to bear arms. So, to me,
it seemed like an NRA member or something would come down here.
Yeah, something like that. So the fact that I lost the question.
The question is Steve Perkins. We just want to familiarize the audience a little bit more with the entire situation.
Yeah. So he was coming outside and he heard a disturbance, and it seemed like from the video, as soon as his feet touched the ground of his property, he was ambushed by police hiding in several spots. The video showed the police not parking outside of his house. None of the protocol was followed for a civil case, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So what you see is him touching the grass and then the police screaming, put the gun down, whatever they do always say. And you see him like trying to adjust, understand what's going on. Somebody's yelling out from the dark and he's being shot before.
He was startled.
Yeah, he was startled. He was completely startled. And he was shot before before the commands were able to be heard.
Now, you said protocol for a civil matter. Okay, what was the civil matter?
So the civil matter in question was a repossession of a truck, which we don't know the details or specifics of that. So the truck in question, the tow truck company involved, and the police initially showing up is what's in question, right? But all we do know is that when they did show up, if it had been a civil matter, They should have parked in front of the house. They should have, made themselves well known. There are things you can do. You can park in front of the house and turn the lights on, and anyone will understand those red and blue lights are police.
Correct. Anyone would. And I don't even think. I think if the lights are on, when he cracks the door, before he opens the door, he probably can see the lights, in the windows.
Right.
I don't even think he comes outside armed. I really do hate that I cannot remember the name of the attorney that came down to represent the family.
His name is Lee Merritt. Lee Merritt.
Thank you very much. That gentleman had a small speech the night of the vigil, and I think some words were taken out of context. I know some words were taken out of context. Let me ask you, me and my wife weren't there. We were actually trying to celebrate our 1-year anniversary.
Mm-hmm. Congratulations.
Thank you. So, did you guys feel that he was saying burn the city down? Did you? I'm saying,
Yeah, we all know about protests and speaking at protests, you know what I'm saying? The height and the emotion is high. But the statement that he made did not incite us to burn anything down. Like I said, Decatur's a small place. We all know each other. The police were right there. They were on top of buildings. They have drones out. Like there's heavy police presence. Like Madison County was here. Like surrounding counties sent police officers to Decatur. So, we're peacefully protesting, seeking justice. And the fact that we can't do that is part of the problem.
Now, I asked that to ask this. There was a statement made by the mayor, Tab Bowling. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
It's okay if the audience doesn't. How did you feel about that?
So I feel like Tab should be smarter than that. He's being divisive at this point in time, because if you understand and you want to quote Martin Luther King, you need to understand where he's coming from and where he's being, right? So when you talk about burning something down, it's not in a literal sense. You know what I'm saying? It's not the literal me taking a match or a torch to a building in Decatur.
I think he was referencing the system.
The system, yeah. We have to burn down these quote-unquote invisible systems that we all live under. We have to burn down the white supremacy tactics that we all live under. The justice system has been an injustice system to us.
That's a fact. Now, with these protests, do you feel there's a way to completely unify as a community with seemingly so many different agendas and some wanting to be front runners of the entire situation?
So, the only unification that we can all have is, to prosecute, to arrest, and to terminate those police officers, right?
Correct.
So if you're not unifying under that message, you're not doing what the family wants. And at the end of the day, what we want is what the family wants, and that's justice. So if there are people trying to, jump in front and stuff like that, that's fine, but just make sure you doing what you're supposed to do. Like, don't jump in front because we're a rolling train. Standing in power is a rolling train. We done organized marches. We've organized the vigil. We organized the revival today. You know what I'm saying? So we are looking for justice because that's what the family wants.
Correct. Can you explain to the audience why the black community here feels like we all are Steve Perkins?
I mean, aren't we all, like, for real? Like, the fact that when you think about all the major cities in America, when you think about all the small cities surrounding that, you can point to a place. When you think of every day of the year, you can point to a person who has been gunned down by police brutality. You can point to, like, the history of this country, like the EJI does with every day. They post something about Black history and something that happened. Like, we are, pretty much in the same place we were in 1865. Like, we've been segregated, we've been marginalized, we've been oppressed, we've been beaten, we've been shot by the police. Like, every way that you can think to disrupt the people has been done to us.
That's a fact. What, if anything, can be done changed or revised to prevent crimes of this nature in the future? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not just speaking in this small community. I'm talking about nationwide.
So one of the things I would encourage everybody to do is go to ados.org and look at the criminal justice section of the Black Agenda, right? So there's a larger, more expansive part at the federal level, but what we're looking for is, changes around body camera footage, right? Like, how is that released to the public, right? Like, progressive policing. How do you police a community that you're not a part of, right? Like, and how do you bridge that gap? We're looking for, changes in who looks at these cases. Like, if a police officer shoots an unarmed person, or if there's a police officer shooting at all, we need the DOJ to step in immediately. Like, we shouldn't have to petition the DOJ to do their job. So we're looking for a lot of systemic overall changes from the local level all the way up to the federal level.
That was hard. Pause. So you just mentioned something, and I thought it was good. It was the body cam. So Alabama law enforcement agency, I think they have some kind of small tweak in the game where they can decide if the body cam's on or not. Is this true? Am I just, because sometimes I like to talk crazy.
I'm gonna have to read into that because they have changed a lot of laws. Alabama,
have you heard anything like what I'm talking about though?
I have, but
around the situation.
Yeah, I can't confirm or deny because I haven't read it myself.
Okay.
So I have heard some stuff around that. But the Constitution of Alabama is actually the longest constitution in the world.
Wow.
Yep.
So, Aaliyah, Alabama law enforcement agency, has to decide with this Steve Perkins case if they deem it worthy of indictment to a grand jury. A grand jury could take some time. If they did, let's say best case scenario, grand jury did pick it up, but that's going to take some time, right? Are you guys willing to keep the fight up?
Yes. Like, we have been there pretty much every day. Like, when we drive by, there are people there. There are people there day and night, with their signs, with their T-shirts. We're here for the long run because, like I said, Decatur's a small place, right? So when 15 people show up,
that's big.
That's big for Decatur, and we've had almost 1,500 people show up in one day.
Yeah. Okay. We're gonna wrap it up with this. What's the end goal?
So the end goal, like I said, is legislation. It's policy change. It's changes around that. It's changes around policing. It's changing around the way America works for us being descendants of slavery. It changes around our children. It changes around looking towards our future, right? Because when I look at everything that's happened, like, we're 46 years from Tommy Lee Hines, right? And that's 46 years from, the Scottsboro Boys, right? So we're in like this time loop, right, that keeps cycling. So we have to end this cycle. So legislation and policy, reparations, all of those things are on the table right now, and I feel like this is the moment where we really make a stand for what it is for our children. Not for me, because I'm 36, but for my godson, for your kids, your future grandkids, all of these, all my little cousins that's having kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to really work for them because I don't want to have them go through that same cycle. I don't want in 46 years them to be right here again.
That we can predict it happen again. I have the feeling that if we don't get this done this time, with this type of smoke, it won't get done.
Yeah, because they're really trying to erase our history. They're trying to erase the Black American legacy. Like, they're saying hip hop is, this and that. It's not made solely by us. They're trying to take Zutus. They're trying to take our whole history out. They're trying to do CRT to our history. And we have to stop that. It's our job.
Yeah, it's getting out of hand. Again, condolences to the family. I think the funeral was yesterday.
Yeah.
Condolences to the family. Our thoughts and prayers are definitely with you. And we want justice for Steve Perkins. You got anything else to say?
Join the fight, if you are in the fight, make sure you're taking care of yourself, you know what I'm saying? Because we're in this for the long haul. We're in this until we get justice. So make sure anything you see, you sharing. If you can make it to things, donate. Like we got medics, we got we have organizations that are working. We have people that are actually doing real work. So make sure that y'all stay energized with us.
Yeah, guys, get you some rest. I'm constantly seeing Perez. I'm constantly seeing the NAACP from North Alabama, Rodney. Mm-hmm. I'm always seeing Terrence, Mr. T. Baker. Get you some rest, guys. Get you some rest because we need you guys.
Shout out to Nisa and Adriana.
Oh, yeah. They doing their thing. Shout out. Thanks, man. All right, guys. That's Major.